Hi, I'm Darren,
And I'm Shazan, people.
and this is your photo tip in 60 seconds or less,
less.
and we are Grayheet
Grayheet
Photography.
Photography.
Hi, people. So this is your photo tip in 60 seconds or less.
Or more
Your
this time. Not
All
so.
Year's into New Year's edition.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right, quite right with him,
60
or more,
seconds or more.
because it is going to be quite longer. We know quite a
So
few
longer,
people
little.
have been asking about asking us to expand a little bit more on the tips. And we thank all of our clients for calling in and saying, listen, we love the tips.
Thank you so much, people.
But they kind of wanted a little more explanation. It's kind of difficult to do it in 60 seconds. But today's edition is going to be a bit longer, probably around 10 minutes. So stick around. You are going to definitely enjoy this one. Oh, by the way, I want to introduce you to Mrs. Grayheet.
Hi, everyone, once again.
She has been the person behind the camera. So for the past few weeks, you have only been seeing me,
A bit shy sometimes, people.
but now you're seeing the beauty behind.
Wow. Thanks for describing me like that.
I
Feel
know-
good about that, Mr. Hernandez.
wait, I see,
Or
I see.
Mr. Grayheet in this
Right.
aspect.
And of course, we love weddings, and of course, clients when they
Love
come to
weddings.
us, they love how we interact, and
Yep.
simply because we know how to deal with couples.
Make them
Because
feel comfortable, man. That's
Right.
how life's supposed to be.
so let's get into today's tip or today's tips. So we're going to be doing a recap of all of those tips.
Yep.
Also,
Mr. Hernandez in 60 seconds or more today.
well, yeah, in 60 seconds or more. And also, we're going to be dropping a fresh tip for
Yeah.
your All Year's
This is
or
going to benefit
New
you.
Year's wedding. So, those couples who getting married tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we have a wedding to attend tomorrow.
Can't wait.
And to those who getting married on New Year's Day and even possibly on the second, this would be your tip. So stick around till the
Yes,
end of
stick
our
around.
video. So we're going to go back with our first tip from the season, which was
Yes. Mr. Grayheet.
choosing a photographer based on portfolio.
That is important. Very paramount, people. Mr. Hernandez, what do you have to say about that?
So what happens is that what we realize a lot of times from experience,
Yep.
some clients choose a photographer based on what they see on Facebook and Instagram.
One or two pictures, they drop. You know how it is go.
Right? As a photographer, you would not post up your worst work,
No,
good,
you won't.
but a full wedding album actually gives you an idea. So what we do with clients is that we would show to them this. I don't know if you all can see it right here. So we would show them a sample of what our wedding albums
Yes, looks like.
look like.
Uh-huh.
So they can now go through. I don't know if you can see this. And just go through their wedding day. It's kind of difficult to hold these books because these wedding albums that we have are so big.
Evidence, people.
Right? So that's your proof. You want to be able, oh, by the way, and we have multiple.
Yes.
So you want to be able to sit with your wedding photographer, for example. You want to be able to sit with your wedding photographer or your potential wedding photographer and go through what a full wedding with them would look like. So you have an idea.
Must do that. We must do that, Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Grayheet in this life. We must do that.
So you want to know
As clients.
what their style is. And if their style doesn't match your expectation, and I'm gonna suggest that you look somewhere else. Most clients these days, they ask why photography is so expensive that we're going to leave that for another time.
Yes.
But part of it is training, equipment, and a whole host of other
many
things.
things.
And we are going to do a detailed video on that
Yes.
to explain to clients why really and truly your wedding pictures cost a lot. And the guys that charge $1,600 for a whole wedding is not really your best idea.
Come on, people.
So moving on.
So you're moving on.
Extended combination of photos. We spoke
Yes.
about that earlier for the season where last year, well, this according to when you're watching this
Yes,
video, it
yes,
would be
yes.
last year. Some people want to get every single combination,
every single family member. Yes, Mr. Grayheet.
it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. It's not possible.
Not in the hour that you have for photos between the
Yes.
church and the reception.
We can understand the excitement sometimes, from the bride and the groom. I mean, everybody wants to have all their family members in the picture. Everybody, every extended cousin, every single person. But it's very impossible.
Right? So
Because of time constraints, not so, sir?
yeah. So what we advise that you do is that you choose out the most important family members,
Yes.
explain to them what's going to happen, let them come to the photo session, good, and you do your pictures there with them, and then you save half an hour or 45 minutes for you and your husband or your wife.
Yeah. And you can always get the tables as we do normally in the reception, so everybody get the opportunity still, just in a little, you know.
So the bride walks around to the table and she interacts, or the bride and groom walks around to the table and they interact with everyone. And you get some really, really fun photos that way.
On the table.
So our advice, don't do auntie, nene, grandmother, grandfather,
That's going to take
papi.
up most of your wedding
That's
day,
going
right?
to take up most of your wedding day.
Yep, most of your
Right?
time.
Christmas Day start time.
Yeah, boy. That's important, very important.
This time of the year, the sun sets quite early.
Yeah, and a little bit it will be dark. Not
Yeah.
too much sun on there. And how much hours will be dark?
This time we are filming this at minutes to 3.
Yeah.
So in an hour or 2, this is going to be dark.
Extremely dark.
Remember, you would have paid a lot of money for a really beautiful venue.
Huge, magnanimous investment. Don't play with that.
Venues are not cheap.
Nope.
Really nice venues are not cheap. A wedding venue now, a really beautiful wedding venue, can begin at anywhere $15,000-$20.
Very costly.
TT, that does not include the cost of other stuff. You're just looking at the cost of the venue alone. So if you want to have the best use of your venue, especially for your pictures and your video, our advice, start a bit earlier.
Early.
Even if you are doing a wedding, even in the middle of the year when sun sets at 6 or 7 p.m.
Yep.
So if you're doing a wedding at 6, if you're doing a wedding, let's say July, August, you can probably look at starting at 4 because sun would set at around half 6. Or even 3.
Explain magic hour to them now.
We're going to leave that. No, let's not sell it out.
Okay, we won't
Let's
sell
not
it
sell
out
it out.
today, right?
Not today, not today.
Not today. Another
Not today.
time, okay?
Another time. We'll leave that for another video.
Yeah, that's
We
our
have to let them
secrets.
come back for more.
A few secrets to come.
Right? So.
Will you share it?
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
We will. I promise you we will.
We will share it.
If not, if I don't share it, Mrs. Grayheet will share it.
Good.
So, look at that start time.
Good.
Also, we look at stealing attention from the bride. I know I was a bit vague on this one,
Mine.
but when I say stealing attention from the bride,
Yes.
normally when we do weddings,
And we can't talk, It's from experienced people. It's not talk.
Yeah. I would have loved to have shown you on my last video, but I didn't want to do that because it happened it happened with one or two of our clients where people walked into the church right behind the bride. So the bride is walking up the aisle and someone is walking up the aisle and they're not supposed to be there, and it actually ruins the picture.
Number of people at times as well.
Right, so
it's not a controlled environment. We need to learn to control our environment probably as, wedding planners, different people. But you can't do everything,
Right. So the last
We need
person
to be responsible.
really who should be walking up the aisle
Yep.
should really be the bride. Well, of course, if she has her bridesmaid or whoever is
course.
holding her trail or whatever, if she has a beautiful cathedral trail, which is a big thing these days. Cathedral
very,
trails,
very
cathedral
popular
veils, sorry, are really, really beautiful.
Yes, very.
So that's one thing you're going to want to look at. And videographers, yes, you too, as I said, are a bit guilty of this. I remember once we worked a wedding, and the videographer used the phone, and there's nothing wrong with the phone. There's a lot of new phone photography out these days, but he was right up on the bride, and it spoiled quite a few of her images. We just literally had to go through. We just were like, oh, beautiful picture, but can't use it.
Can't use it.
You know,
A lot of beautiful images that we can use.
right? So be very wary of that, people. Okay.
Yeah, so I remember our wedding day. I don't want anybody to steal attention from me. Come on, people.
Yeah, you don't want to inadvertently steal attention from the
No,
bride.
not to say mean to,
Yeah, you don't really mean to, but
Yeah.
sometimes in Trinidad and
Things
Tobago,
happen.
we are a little bit unruly when it comes to that.
Yeah, we could get
Boy.
unruly.
Okay, so let's move on to the best one so
Oh
far,
gosh, Uncle Bob, Uncle Bob. Oh my God, tell me about Uncle Bob.
and Auntie Mary.
Oh gosh, yeah, boy.
Ladies and
Experience,
gentlemen, yeah, experience.
Wow.
I don't know what it is with these huge iPads.
my God.
Why do they love to walk to weddings with these huge iPads?
I don't know.
Please. So,
And most of the time we pictures the city light today.
no, they don't.
No.
So you have these huge iPads, and the bride is walking up the aisle, and someone sticks this huge iPad out into the aisle.
Oh my gosh, it happens
and
to us so much time.
it's
Oh my gosh.
utterly ridiculous. Or there's someone behind when the minister is saying you may kiss the
Oh
bride.
my gosh.
Imagine
Oh my gosh.
that I am setting up for the first kiss. So I'm there down the aisle waiting with my lens
That
for
is
when the
crazy.
minister says you may kiss the bride to get that perfect image.
Just imagine.
And Uncle Bob goes to stand up behind
Oh my gosh.
the minister.
Oh my gosh. And right in the center of the couple.
So, and he's right in the middle of the couple. Imagine that on your wedding day.
Oh my gosh.
So, unplugged weddings, that's a new thing now where bride and grooms ask their ask their guests, to
Turn
their
off,
cell
or at least
phones
put away.
off,
Just for the day, not just for the day, just for one day.
right? And leave the job to the professionals. Please.
Yep.
Right? And other people who not getting married and you are also attending weddings, understand that when you show up with your cell phones and you do what you do,
Yep.
it makes the photographer and the videographer's job a lot harder.
Very
and
hard.
some people
Very
are so
difficult.
vexed when the photographer or the videographer tells them, please don't stand there.
No.
So there was a particular wedding where my
no, not
bride, she was really upset after the wedding, and she told me, she said, Darren, because I told her, so I thought, that was a person that you. And she said, no. If I had only she would have braced him a long
she
time.
had no knowledge of this person.
Right. Because she was like, who is he? Why is he in my wedding pictures? Why is he standing there?
That is Uncle Bob.
Right? And, when the wedding ceremony is going on, there's very little we can do about it. You don't want to cause a ruckus in the church. So, you leave it right
Be
here,
professional and just deal with them with the best you can, I should say.
And
Best
some
you
people
could.
I'm staying a bit long on this point because some people quite bold-faced
Yep.
with regards to that.
Yep.
Right, you can use your cell phone, but it really distracts. It really makes the job more difficult, and a lot of times, according to what happens, it can actually spoil
Yeah, boy.
the pictures for the bride and groom. So,
Yeah.
unplugged
Don't spoil
weddings,
pictures, right?
yeah,
Don't spoil pictures.
you know,
Come on.
relax, rock back,
Yes.
enjoy the ceremony. Even for the portrait session, that happens too, because now the photographer is
boy.
looking to photograph family members, and now we have to go find this one who
Oh
is
my
off
gosh.
somewhere
Yeah, everybody wondering sometimes.
taking pictures
Right?
and with their cell phones, and it
Yep.
really
It's really distracting.
distracts. Right?
Yeah.
So, that is our recap of our tips.
Yes.
And let's get into our last one. So if you're with us so far, our last tip for all years or New Year's, according to when you're looking at this particular video, would be about makeup.
And I love makeup. Which bride don't love makeup on their face? Nice, pretty, nice, soft makeup.
Right?
Yeah?
Bride and grooms, I want you all to understand, not necessarily grooms, but brides. Do an assessment of your skin.
Important.
Find a makeup artist who suits you perfectly. Your makeup should not necessarily be loud. As a photographer, I personally hate loud makeup.
Subtle.
You need subtle makeup that enhances your beauty, but also at the same time remove some of those imperfections that we all
all of us have
have.
to hide something. I mean, that's how it is sometimes. Nobody perfect, right?
You know,
Physically, doesn't
you
matter.
know,
Yeah.
After how many years I now starting to get my first little gray
Yeah,
beard.
boy.
I didn't want to
No,
get
let's
that.
go.
I might die that, I feel I might die that.
Little fine lines. You know how it is, go people.
Right? Some people, when we photograph them, there are things that you may not see, but our cameras will definitely see.
would pick up.
especially if with the type of equipment that most wedding
Yes.
photographers use, those you will see imperfections. So,
Especially with a whacked makeup job, you will see everything.
right, sometimes when I'm in Photoshop with brides, sometimes I have to go in and literally fix little problems with the makeup.
Plenty times.
So choose your makeup artist wisely.
Wisely.
Because makeup can actually make
Oh, break. Yeah,
your
boy.
images. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what. This was your photo tip in,
60 seconds,
well,
right?
well, not 60 seconds today,
Or more.
right? This was your photo tip in 60 seconds or less. I am Darren,
And I'm Shazan.
and we will see you all next year, God's willing.
Real good.
Everyone, enjoy the rest of your year.
Real good. I said not real good, but real good.
This is Grayheet Photography, and
Yep.
we are signing out.
Out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.